This is an invitation to join Luxbet Club Extra, exclusively to owners and trainers. Join Luxbet today using promo code and receive a match deposit of 150% up to $1,500. Luxbetter odds, Luxbetter app with Luxbet.
Tony Golan joins us again this morning here on Stable Boss. And Tony, a good handful of runners for you this weekend. I'm intrigued to know a little more about Jabrook, who's of course in the 2-year-old race.
Yeah, she's a nice filly. She's half sister to Tyre Trelawney by Hinchinbrook. So she's got a bit of pedigree there to help her out. She's been a pretty straightforward horse the whole time. We didn't have her early doors, and a client ended up buying her, and she made her way to us. So she was well educated when we got her. She's done nothing wrong. Had a couple of jump outs. Been pretty impressive in both.
Winning.
She's won both, and she's quite impressive. Got good speed, as you'd imagine, like very similar to her sister. But race day's different. She struck I think a pretty strong little 2-year-old race, and they probably start getting stronger from now on into the millions. And
is she millions?
She is a Magic Millions filly, and she's a cutest filly. So there's a fair bit of upside to her if she's able to win. She's well educated. She'll be up forward near the pace somewhere, and will run very well.
Does she look like her sister or her sister?
Yeah, she's not overly big. She may be a little bit bigger than Tyre Trelawney, but yeah, there are a lot of similarities. But she's just a dream to train. Just never puts her foot wrong. Just absolutely bomb-proof filly.
What do we make of Lord Coconuts that's around the other day?
I'm not sure. Watching the race, I mean, I know the leader really did get a nice time, top tone in front. He sort of sprinted, but I was really surprised when he came off the bridle. But talking to the jockeys on the day, they say the track cuts up quite a lot around the camber there, and he just really looked to be losing his action in the choppy ground. When he straightened up and got balance and seemed to be able to get a foothold in the ground, I thought his run was excellent, to be fair. So it'll probably depend on the way the track plays. He's drawn really good with Lani, and she pulls a couple of kilos off just the way the benchmark race panned out. We sort of felt we had to do that. She had a feel for him in a track gallop here on Tuesday, and he actually a horse that really enjoys this surface. He loves that little bit of cut
giving it,
in the ground. So look, he's a live chance. In a race that's probably only got 2 or 3 chances in it. But I'd be pretty
Saga Miss, probably the hardest to beat.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, her runs here on this track have been really good.
Haven't they?
Everywhere. So look, he's a live chance, and I'll be pretty forgiving of his run the other day. I thought he was okay, and 1800 looks to really suit now. Yeah,
absolutely. Another slipper. He was brilliant last start.
Yeah, he was, but this is clearly a step up. Different sort of race to what he met the other day. He wasn't that much of a surprise the other day. We wanted to ride him that way, just back a little bit and let him run on. I think I mentioned to you the day before at Ipswich, and he's probably going to be able to do the same thing here. Obviously, he's got a pretty fair stumbling block with the top weight. He's a fairly reasonable
winning
horse,
Rupert,
and I'm sure he's well prepared. But I guess the advantage we have, and a lot of the locals do, is that we've been and raced at Eagle Farm, and horses coming here from down south are on the whole, are probably finding it a little bit more difficult than what they first thought.
I think you're right.
Sort of changed around a lot when they were coming to Doomans from a familiar track to what they used to down there. But he's a little bit different. So if there's any chinks in winning Rupert's armour, it may be this track. But he's a pretty impressive horse, and I'll be very happy if my bloke just runs well and gives us a good pointer towards the Gold Edition or the Vo Rogue a bit later in the summer. Yep.
Heart of a Warrior, he was first up last time out.
Yeah, he was good. They raced just so far off the fence that day. I mean, he was in a 1400 and he probably only run a mile. That probably just cost him. He travelled like the winner on the corner, and he just knocked up the last 100. So that run under his belt now will do him the world of good. It's a shame we had to go to this sort of race. You got to penalise with the weight.
You weren't tempted to claim with him?
Yeah, probably was a little bit, but I'm really keen to ride him in the manner we did last start, which is just back off the speed a little bit. I felt last prep he was always the chopping block, and he could find something to get over him late where, ridden with that little bit of a sit and run on. He just may be a lightweight race in a better class of race later in the summer when he drops to 54 over the mile. So there's a little bit of a method in the madness, but I just hope the track plays. We're not skirting so wide, a bit like last Saturday, where he raced nearly like normal racing. And if it does that, it'll give him a great chance.
It was good to have an even playing field last Saturday, wasn't it?
Oh, for sure. I mean, horses aren't scouting, 5 and 6 deep from before the corner. It just makes the distances so much longer. And horses first up at a distance you think they're ready for, they've basically got to run a furlong further. So, it finds a lot of them sort of horses out. But he has come through that run particularly well, and yet again, this is a sort of circuit I think really does suit this horse.
And a man.
It hasn't really shown his best here at Eagle Farm, which is surprising me. He's such a good wet tracker. His runs at Doomben prior to coming here were great. He's never looked like winning a race here. He jumped out well at Doomben the other day. It's a long-range plans to try and get him into that Stayers race, Magic Millions Day 2200, which they'll have no problems with the trip. So look, he's fresh up in the legs, but I'd like to see him perform better here at Eagle Farm. I think his better runs have actually been at Doomben, so look, a bit of a watch and see on him.
We've always had a sort of a difference between the tracks. You get horses that like one or not like the other, but do you think that's a little exaggerated at the moment?
Oh yeah, they're just the poles apart. I think when it is firmed up here a couple of times, it's tracking its race really well, and I think horses that have got a bit of Doomben form can run well then. But when it's racing as soft as what it is and whatnot, you really see a greater difference. A good 3 here is nothing like a good 3 over the road, and that's nothing to do with the circumference of the track or anything like that, or the dimensions. It's more to do with the surface, I think. So as this surface consolidates, we might see that gap close up a little bit.
George Moore Stakes, you've got most important in, and he's got a bit of a visitor's draw, really, 11 of 11.
Yeah, he has, but I'm never overly worried with like speed horses drawing wide. I think they get their chance, their time to get across, and this is certainly, I was mentioning before, is a different race to the Keith Now. There was I think 3 horses in the Keith Now didn't sit in the first 2 in running, so it was always going to be a real bash and barge on speed.
It was.
He was clearly the best of the on-paces the other day. This is a good race, no doubt, but tempo-wise it's a completely different race. I do think he'll find his role either outside the leader or in front, and if he does that, he'll race well, but yet he's another horse that seems to reserve his best for across the road. He can really run sectionals over there. They just can't seem to run here, which is probably to his disadvantage. But look, another really good race. Look, there's many chances. Kelly's mare.
It's a good race.
Yeah, Kelly's mare's flying, Miss Cover Girl, and Desley's horses hasn't been penalised at all the weights for winning. So, he's a strong horse at the 1200. So it's a really good race. And
good here.
Yeah, very good here. It makes it a strong race, doesn't it? A strong distance-wise race. So, but my bloke will run very well again. I'd just like to see him at Doomben, which we will see in a fortnight. Okay,
Tayat Trelawney, great to see her back in the winning store last time out.
Yeah, it was. I think I mentioned first up, we were tearing our hair out, knowing what to do with her after such a hard run. So we did a little bit things different with her to get her right, and it worked out well. She's really improved from that last win here. She looks a lot better. She'll present the best she's presented all preparation. And
nice.
She she's certainly one of the chances. Yet again, another really good race. I mean, the horse from Sydney, Kurt Golan's horse, Eckstein, it's a really nice sort of untapped sort of horse. So there's good tempo. There's good tempo and good quality in this race. So just really glad we've drawn quite well.
She'd be still likely to lead that.
She'll be somewhere on pace. And she sat outside the leader the other day. She was happy there. At Eagle Farm, you've always got to save that little bit for the finish, haven't you? You can't just go breakneck along and hope to hang on. It just doesn't work. So she'll be on speed, and I do expect her to run very well.
Lipstick Lover?
Look, an afterthought, we've had her in twice and little tiny things gone wrong, couldn't run her. So we've put her in the 1200. My intentions are to back her up in the mile next Saturday. A little bit unorthodox, but I need to get a run under her belt. Will run well, will be very strong at the end of the trip. It's just whether she's got the turn of foot and the speed to match it with some of these speedsters.
All right, conditions here at Eagle Farm looking pretty good from up here, about to start back on their building.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. We haven't had a lot of action out there since obviously the bad incident that has occurred. It'd be good when they get started, we can get out there a bit quicker. But no, everything's good here. Good morning. We're 20 mil of rain. They tell us just the arvo and the storm, which would only be good for the track, and hopefully we get a nice pitch here on the weekend and plays nice and fair. And of course you got a couple of runners in Sydney. Yeah, we've got 5 runners in Sydney on Saturday and 1 at Newcastle, so we've got a big day down there. Hopefully we can. Where will you be? I'm going to be here. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be here. I think Jane's going down. Jane's in charge. Jane and Glenn. Stand by. Yeah, Jane and Glenn. They'll run the show down there on Saturday. Nice. So, no, it should be hopefully a good day for us down there. We've had a fair bit of luck down there. All bad so far. Oh well, the big chocolate wheel that goes round and round. Oh, if you keep jamming your head in, eventually it pokes out the other side. So that's every squirrel finds a nut. 100% they do. So we're still frolicking around for one at the moment, but we have got a nice team in there Saturday. Look, very competitive races down there as well, and no different than what we got here on the weekend. I think there's some good competitive fields here, and we're in some bloody competitive ones down there. But no, hopefully a good day's racing for us Saturday, and we can jag a couple of winners. Thanks, Tone. Thank you.
This is an invitation to join LuxBet Club Extra, exclusively to owners and trainers. Join LuxBet today using promo code and receive a match deposit of 150% up to $1,500. LuxBet odds, LuxBet up with LuxBet.